Hey guys, welcome back. This video is super special to me. Today's Veterans Day and I wanted to do Veterans Day mani. This is super close to my heart. Not only do I have a lot of friends who have served in the military, but my husband served in the military. He was in the Navy. He is retired, but nonetheless, he is a veteran. So I wanted to do something kind of cool for, in honor of Veterans Day. So I have soaked off those nails. I can't believe how long my nails get leaving dip powder on them for more than a couple of days. In case you guys haven't noticed, that seems to be a new trend of mine. I now alternate hands instead of doing both hands in one set. This just enables me to soak off less or, take them off less and, do more videos in a more timely manner, I suppose. Yeah, I'm doing much less nail damage. I'm not filing my nails anymore. They're super strong. So if you're having issues with weak nails and you think it's because of the acrylic, it's probably not. It's probably because you're either buffing or filing or taking away that top layer of nail every time you do them. And I have found with this method of prep that I am doing for my nails, I have way less damage. Not that I ever had damaged nails per se, they're just a lot stronger because I'm not filing them or buffing the top of them every time I do them. So you may want to check out a different means of prep if you're finding that your nails are, not as strong as they once were. Look how great this bit is. I am obsessed with this nail bit. I just love it so much. It doesn't even, I don't know how to explain it. It's exfoliating. It's like just taking a loofah and scrubbing your body in the shower. You're not hurting yourself. You're not hurting your skin. You're not damaging your skin. You're just taking off all the dead crap. And that's what this bit does. Takes away all the dead crap. So I'm going to go ahead and take off all the dead crap. And we're going to get into something kind of cool. This video, I apologize for the length of it. Some of you guys are probably excited. I know you had some of you guys that were kind of sad that my videos had gotten short and my application was, not really highlighted. But for those of you that love my longer videos, you're welcome. Oh my God, and this stuff, guys. Okay, so I've recently been introduced to Cuticle Candy by Candy Skincare. And oh my God, if you have not tried that stuff before, I want to do everything. I want to eat it, to be perfectly honest. I won't, because I'm sure that won't be healthy. But it smells so good and it's so hydrating. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. And I will have a discount code for you guys in my description box, as well as the link to CSC's website if you want to go check that out. So I have dehydrated. I'm all prepped, ready to go. And this is going to be kind of an all-in-one video for you guys today. I'm doing my Veterans Day mani. We're going to talk about cuticle skincare and cuticle candy. And I'm doing my non-dominant hand again. And I'm going to do nail art. And I'm going to be doing a kind of French. Now this gray dip powder I made, I literally just took some white dip powder and some black dip powder and mixed them up. It was definitely not equal ratios. It was like 75% white, 25% black. Don't quote me on that. I'm probably wrong. I don't really measure. I don't know. I should start doing that. But I made it myself. And you'll see the end result actually came out pretty good. It's a little bit grainy, but I kind of like that. It reminds me of like sweater weather. That's what I would call it. I'd call it sweater weather. It's got that kind of texture and consistency to it, but it's gorgeous. Wait till you see it. I'm pretty proud of myself. I did. I made it myself. So I'm going to start my application. And before we get into the French part of it, I'm going to let you guys watch the application I do on 3 of my nails, thumb, pointer, and pinky. And, oh yeah, I should have told you this. Because my nails have gotten a little bit longer, I'm switching up my dip routine. I want to reinforce the tip to keep them from breaking. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have this Sky natural dip powder. And I do 3/4 of my nail, maybe not even, maybe 2/3 of my nail. And I just dip that into the Sky natural. And again, that's just to reinforce the tip since my nails have a little bit of length now, and I really, really, really don't want to break them. I'm pretty proud that I've grown my nails out like this. So yeah, if you have length to your nails or if you're doing extensions, you want to build that up a little bit, build up the strength, build up the apex, reinforce the tip to prevent breakage. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm not going nuts. They're not super long, but I'm just doing about 2/3 of my nail with that natural dip powder. And then I go right into my colored acrylic, the gray that you saw. So I'm going to let you watch that. If I need to jump back in for some reason, I certainly will. But if not, I will come back when I start doing the application of the French. And it's going to be super awesome and gorgeous. And we have some stupid, amazing nail art at the end. Don't you go anywhere for, you have to stick around for that because it's super cool. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys watch me do the application of the gray on 3 fingers, and I'll be right back for French time. See you guys in a bit. Okay, so I'm busting out this little contraption. You guys have seen me use the one I got from the cart, the big gray one, but I'm using this one today just to show that you can use any dip tray you'd like. The big gray one seems to be more comfortable for me. I don't know, but I'm like, let me do it in this one because I haven't used this little tray in a while. And I've got my the natural. That's the color, or for lack of color, that you saw me put on my nails first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the French with the gray, and then I'm going to pour over the natural for the first coat. And then when I do my second coat, I'm going to add just a hint of color with the Kara Sky dark pink. So for the French, I know I have a French video on here already. Most of you guys have probably seen it, but if you want just, I guess, some more in-depth type tutorial on that, you can go watch that video. I'll link it in the description box. But for this, I'm doing it the exact same way. Put my base on from cuticle to free edge, just like I normally do for every application. And then ever so slowly, I go into the gray French container thing. Now, I do keep my finger, it looks like I'm going in, like down. Maybe it's just my camera angle. But I do try to keep my finger straight out, like as parallel to my table as possible. And that's gonna create that curvature in that smile line. If you just go straight down, you know, it's not gonna be as curved, it'll be more of a straight line. And if that's something that you like, then go ahead and do that. For this, I want it to be a little bit more curved, that smile line. So I went ahead and just kept my finger as straight as possible, and that creates that curve. This is something you can play around with. I would practice on swatches. You know, if you wanted to see what different angles do when you're dipping into the French containers, because I mean, the slightest change in anything in your hand position, here's a close-up. I don't know if you can see it better, that I'm going in pretty straightforward. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying. I got distracted myself. Anything you change as far as the angle that you dip is gonna change the way that smile line looks. And again, if you're tapping off, you want to keep your finger pointed down and tap ever so gently when you're coming out of that French, just so you don't have the color you're doing on the French tip fly up over your smile line, because then it's not going to be as crisp and cut and, you know, solid as you want it. And then I pour over the natural powder and make sure you brush off excess real well. And we're going to repeat this process. I do 2 coats of this. You are welcome to do more than that if, you know, that's the kind of coverage that you want. This gray actually covered really, really well, so I'm only going to do the 2 coats like I typically do. I usually do 2 coats of color. That's just my MO. If you do more than that, do more than that. But as I said in my first video, I'll repeat it now. You want to make sure that you are dipping into the French tip exactly the same way as you did the first time. You want to line up that smile line just perfectly. Otherwise, the smile line is not going to look, again, as crisp and cut and, you know, as you want it to be. So I did bust out my Kara Sky dark pink, and I'm going to use that just to add a little bit of color to my nail plate, the base of the nail. And you'll see what it looks like when I pour it over. It's super pretty. So again, I'm going to go into my gray, lining it up just perfectly the same way I did it the first time, tapping off gently. I do 2 dunks. I don't know. When I do my normal application, just like the whole nail of color, I dip it in twice. I don't know why. Maybe it's just to cover up any wet spots that I might have had. And then I pour over with that dark pink. And you can see it just added the slightest hint of pink. And I don't know. I feel like it just makes your nails look healthier. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Do whatever color you want to do. I mean, the Kara Sky's got the medium pink is great. Revel Scarlet works really, really well. I just happen to like the dark pink, and I only do 1 coat of it, so it's not like super in your face dark pink. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do my other nail, and then I'm going to encapsulate those nails in clear, and then I'm going to top coat, and then we're going to get into some nail art. So I'm going to let you guys watch me finish up this French. Oh yeah, we're going to file and buff first. I forgot. I know I took that out of a couple of videos, and some of you guys were not happy with me about taking out the filing and stuff. So we will file and buff. We'll do it together, and we'll talk about some stuff while I'm doing that. So Stick around. I will be back when we get into some filing. Alrighty, I'll be right back. All right, so I've encapsulated, I activated, I've let it dry for a couple of minutes, and they make that cool clicky sound when I tap on it, so I know they're ready to go. So this is, again, my usual MO. I make sure I separate my nail from my skin because product may have adhered to it inadvertently. I don't want to file my skin. So I separated my nail from my skin. Now I'm going to go with my file. I'll let you guys watch me file while I chat about some stuff. So, Candy Skincare. Good friend of mine mentioned this stuff to me, and I had seen it, in a few of the nail groups that I'm in. People are, posting nail fees with this Candy Skincare cuticle stuff. And I've been using Sky cuticle oil for a while, a long time actually, almost a year. My 1-year dip-anniversary is coming up very, very soon. So there may be some fun stuff involved with that. Anyway, I digress. So easily distracted. It's like squirrel. Oh, it's the ADHD. Anyway, I was introduced to this cuticle candy by Candy Skincare, and I went on their website and I ordered a bunch of stuff. I'm like, let me try this out and see how it is. And oh my God, I got real mad that I didn't know about this stuff earlier. I got a couple of different, I'll call them flavors. Don't eat it. Don't do that. But I call them flavors. I got cotton candy, which I am obsessed with. Obsessed. I got vanilla, which is so sweet and yummy smelling. And I think it was citrus something. Citrus mystery, citrus surprise. I don't know what it was. But it was so refreshing and it smells like, I don't know, sweet oranges. So I got a bunch of this stuff. They don't have just cuticle oil. There's hand lotions and all sorts of magical potions that the owner of this company, I call her the, like, I don't know, magical potion fairy. And a funny story, she actually, I messaged her because I wanted to see if she'd be kind enough to offer a discount code for my subscribers since I want to use her stuff in my videos. And she was very, very sweet. And I had no idea who the owner of this company was. And as it turned out, she was one of my subscribers. I'm like, oh my gosh, that worked out great. So yeah, she is such a sweet lady. Gave me a discount code, which will be in my description box. So if you're interested in checking out this amazing website and seeing all the goodies that she makes, I encourage you to check that out. She also has a Facebook community page. I believe it's called Candy Skincare community page. Maybe. I'll put that in the description box for you as well. Some super supportive and wonderful women on that page. So if you're into nails or if you're just into skincare in general, you definitely want to check out that Facebook page. So yay for cuticle candy. I am so obsessed, and thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to use it and chat about it, and for that awesome discount code. I so appreciate that. All right, so now we're going to get into some e-filing. I know I sped through the filing super fast. I apologize. But it doesn't take me very long. You know, I only use the file for my shaping because I suck at filing. I really do. You can do all of your shaping and contouring with a hand file. And if you're uncomfortable using an e-file, don't do it. I'm not here to pressure you into getting stuff that you don't need. I like the e-file just because I found it came very naturally to me. I don't know why. But hand filing? No, I was tearing apart my cuticles and making myself bleed, and it was a mess. So I only use that for my shaping. I wanted to purposely put this in here. How sexy is that? I'm such a nerd. I love my super close-ups, but I thought it was very satisfying. So I wanted to include that super close-up for you of where I go with my e-file drill bit when I'm cleaning up my cuticles. I hope you found that as attractive as I did. And if you don't, I'm sorry. Not really. Anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up e-filing. And again, doing my same exact e-file routine. My e-file that I'm using and the drill bits that I'm using, I'm going to put everything in the description box for you in case you're in the market for anything. I'll have easy access. And I want you guys to understand something when I tell you that this is in the description box. I'll leave links for this and links for that. I'm not sponsored by anybody, nor am I monetized. So I get nothing, not a dime, nothing, if you guys use my links for anything. The only things that I do get points for are the Revel referrals, Sparkle & Co. referrals, and Dipalicious referrals. That's all I mean, if you use my links, I don't really care if you do. You know, you do whatever you want to do. But everything else, you know, I don't get anything for this. I'm not getting anything from CSC. Didn't want anything. I just wanted to provide you guys with some helpful tips and maybe some products that you may be into. I mean, if I find something that I love, I want to share it with you guys. Which brings me to my next point. So since my Dipiversary is coming up at the end of November, I wanted to do something super special for you guys. And one of the request that I've gotten, I think, most frequently is y'all want to be nosy and you want to see my whole little setup, which honestly is nothing exciting. It really isn't. I have a nail desk and a shelf and, I don't know, some storage stuff. But you guys really want to see my little nail nook, as I call it. And I figured I would do a little tour of my little nail station that is in the middle of my living room and go through with you guys some of my all-time favorite things that I have to have, especially when I'm doing my nails. So maybe Dunkin' Donuts might be involved. You'll have to wait and find out. And I want to do a little giveaway of some of my favorite stuff. And it's not going to be anything crazy. It's not one of my giant epic giveaways, although I'm sure I'll have one of those coming up in the near future. But it will be some cool stuff, so stick around for that. That'll be coming up here in a week or so, maybe a couple of weeks at most. But yeah, so that's just some of the stuff that I'm working on. I will remind you guys also, here's another extreme close-up. Look at that sexy cuticle action. I'll remind you guys that me and a bunch of my nail sisters, as I'll call them, some of which have been inspirations to me on my little YouTube journey here. We're all doing a collab together called the 12 Days of Dipmas. It's going to be so much fun. There are 12 of us, and I think my video is uploading on December 5th. But, you know, we all have a day. We're all doing something fun. There will be some giveaways involved and a lot of fun stuff. So I will keep reminding you about it because I'm so excited. Can you tell? I am so excited, not just because of the content. It's going to be so much fun to do, but I feel so honored that these wonderful women wanted to include me in this. It's like a little mini new YouTuber's dream to be included in a collab like that. So I'll remind you guys about that as it gets closer to it. And now that I've yapped on and on through all of my filing, you just talk. I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and top coat, and then we're going to get into some nail art. And it does take a little time and a little patience, but it's so easy, and it made me smile, and I loved it. So I'm going to show you guys how to do some camo nail art with acrylic paint in honor of Veterans Day. And I'm using colors similar to the navy camo, since my husband is prior Navy. I'm doing some navy camo inspired nails. So I'm going to top coat, I'm going to cure, I'm going to come back, and we're going to get into the nail art. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back. So we're back and we're cured and we're ready for nail art. Now this mani looks absolutely gorgeous just by itself, but we're gonna dress it up a little bit with some camo. And I've got my handy dandy Tupperware lid, you know, the cheap kind. I've got my acrylic paint and I'm using 3 different colors. I got black and blue and white, and I do mix up a custom color because you know me and I have to be extra and I need my colors to be what I want them to be, not, you know, generic out the bottle color. So I'm just gonna take some of this blue here, mix it up with a little bit of black, and we're gonna make a custom color. This is totally unnecessary. Don't feel the need to do exactly as I'm doing because, like I said, this is kinda sorta extra. So I've gotten this blue mixed up and I think it goes well with the gray. So I'm going to take my dotting tool and I'm going to start making what looks to me like some sort of a camo print. And we're going to layer this. I'm going to layer in, after I do the blue, I'm going to layer in some white and some black. So it's going to be 4 different colors in this camo. It's going to be white, black, blue, and then the gray that I have on, the dip gray, which is going to show through a little bit. So what you're seeing is literally all I'm doing, and it's all I'm going to do with all of the colors. I just layer them on together. So now that you've heard me yap on and on for God knows how long, I'm going to shush for a little bit. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea because I feel another sinus infection coming on. 'Tis the season. So I'm going to let you guys watch me do this whole camo print stuff, and then we're going to top coat again, and I will come back when we do some final reveal photos. So stick around. Feel free to fast forward some of this because I know I sped it up as much as I could, but I did take my time and it did take a little bit. But if you're not into the nail art, you can skip this altogether. I'm not offended, by the way, at all. If you guys want to fast forward through me yapping about nonsense or, you know, doing whatever it is I'm doing, fast forward away. I don't care. You're not hurting my feelings. All right, so I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to come back and go in with my white, and I will be back here in a little bit. Stay tuned. that's over. That was a lot of time doing nail art. But they look so good, and I think they're all finally dry now, so I'm gonna go ahead and top coat. And I'm using my Model 1s. I think this may have been out of stock at some point, but when last I looked, it was back on Amazon. So I will leave a link for this set of Model 1s. The set that I bought comes with the glossy top coat, which I'm so in love with. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. It comes with a matte top coat, which I have not yet played with, but that may be happening soon. And it came with a base coat. Not entirely sure what I'll do with that yet. Because I may experiment with the peel off base coat that I have from Aunt and try again to use the gel base to do dip, and we'll see what happens. Another experiment because I have so much free time. So I'm gonna go ahead and top coat, and yeah, that's another reason why I like using the matte acrylic paint, because when it dries it mattifies and then you know it's dry. And once it's dry, I mean, you can go ahead and pretty much do anything you want on top of it. I mean, don't scrape it off, but you can top coat, you can layer on the acrylic paint like I did. I think most of the time consuming parts of this were just letting everything dry. So this did take a little bit, but as you can see, it was so worth it. The payoff in the end is huge because these nails came out freaking awesome. I love them so much. I'm glad, well, I was kind of sad actually that I didn't use peel off base coat. I keep forgetting to put my peel off base coat on, and this happened to be a set that, you know, I would want to save. So anyway, this is the way they came out. I'm going to go ahead and cure, and this is how the finished nails look, and they're all super hard. The acrylic paint does not do anything to the integrity of the gel polish, if you guys are wondering about that. Not at all. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my favorite thing ever, and that's put on my cuticle oil, and I'm using the cuticle candy that I talked about earlier. And I wish we had like Smellernet or Smell-a-Tube or something that you could sniff this and see how amazing it is. The cotton candy is real. I'm not even kidding. I just wanted to eat it. I vape too, so I'm like, can I vape this? I won't. I'm sure that's not safe. But oh my god, it's amazing. And look at the hydration. It's not like super greasy or oily. It's just the perfect amount of hydration. And they come in the bottles that you saw, or it comes in those little pens, you know, with a brush tip. So thank you guys so much for watching. To all the men and women who served, thank you for your service. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next vid. Love you, bye.